Everyone, Sean here, going to be testing out Freyalise today, my mono green commander deck, which is obviously chock full of elves. So I made some key changes to this recently, done a lot of testing and tuning, and this is what I've come to. This is the 1v1 version of the deck, which is what I prefer to play online. In person I prefer to play multiplayer, and I have a somewhat different list than that. The main difference is in the finishers. Yeah, so, but I'll just be taking a look at the 1v1 version today. I'm just trying to get a look here at like some of the main changes I've made over the past few months. Mana Crypt is a big one. Since Vintage Masters came out, that got super cheap, and it's just a lot of people seem to have not caught on that you can play this in your deck and it's insanely good and not expensive to buy anymore. I think it used to be expensive. It basically puts you 2 turns ahead at effectively no cost. You'll take 3 damage on average 50% of the time per turn, which is almost never relevant in Commander, so it just puts you 2 turns ahead every time you play it. Most games that you get it, you will win, or significant percentage of the time. I picked up a guy's Cradle a long time ago. I play both Cradle and Nykthos, so I feel like it's worth it to play both. I've added a crop rotation to fetch Cradle. I was a little skeptical of it, but I've found it to be pretty solid and worthwhile a lot of the time. See if there's any other big changes. Pretty much all this has stayed the same. I've added some more ramp in some more elves that get me mana. Fine Elder, Karen Elves. This is supposed to be a Bloom Tender. I don't have the Bloom Tender yet. It doesn't really matter which one you use, but this art to me is absolutely hideous. I know some people don't care, but it really bothers me. So anyway, yeah, so that should be a Bloom Tender. Basically, when I first started playing this deck, or like after testing it for a few months or whatever, my approach was to put in only the best mana dorks, and what I found is that you can't have too many. It's not possible, really. So now I just put in almost every single one. So Karen Elves, Bloom Tender, effectively, Fine Elder. It's really important to have a fast start, and even if these aren't quite as efficient, they're still pretty damn efficient. Even the 2 cost 1 for 1 it matters. So you see mana dorks more often, and even in games where you see a lot of mana dorks, you'll make use of the mana most of the time, the extra mana. So yeah, found them to be great. I think I added a Farhaven Elf and Wood Elves. I think I took one or both of them out at some point, but I found that the land ramp is quite relevant mainly for when they sweep the board. But even if they don't, then the land is still good, and it's kind of a similar approach to as with the Carrion Elves and whatnot, which is basically as many mana sources as possible via creatures. So that's pretty much that. Let me see if I've changed anything else. Added a Llanowar Empath. I really like this card. The more I've thought about it and played with it, I thought it wasn't efficient enough, I guess, but I found there have been a fair amount of games where I don't have what I need. It's basically to look for a finisher. That's the main purpose. There's definitely other purposes, but that's the main one, and I found it quite useful in that regard. And sometimes you can bounce it with Symbiote, so get some value out of it. Yeah, I like it. I think Harmonize I took out, but I've added that back in. That's great. And I experimented with a kind of like a full-on, not full-on, but it was like, I guess like a 50% or like 30% control theme, mainly focused on land destruction. So I had Terrasson, Plow Under, Monvuli Acid Moss, just all kinds of things like that. I just basically packed in as much of that as I could, and I found it to be really awkward. I guess it wasn't effective enough on its own, and it took away too much from the primary plan of the deck. So what I've done now is just only put in the best control cards, which are basically Plow Under, Stunted Growth, and Terrastodon. Those are the main ones. I include Horned Queen as well. Definitely, I found it's an incredibly great control card. It blocks. It discourages opposing massive threats from attacking. Some of them, like say Ulamog, it's not going to prevent them, but it does. It can buy you, like, maybe you need a few turns to set up or whatever. It'll buy you those turns a lot of the time. And then also it's so I've taken out Avenger as a card for this because mainly it's going to be, I don't know exactly what percentage of the time. I'm going to estimate half. You will get probably like 60-70% of the time you'll get as many tokens, if not more, than you would with Avenger, and all these guys have Flying into that touch, so they don't have the the pump ability, but we don't care about that really. If you dropped an Avenger and you've pumped more than once, there's a good chance you're going to lose that game because you should have won by then, by the time that you're pumping a second and third time. Anyway, so yeah, instead of Tooth and Nail into Horned Queen and Craterhoof, now I Tooth and Nail into Horned Queen, or instead of Avenger or Craterhoof, I do Horned Queen, Craterhoof, sorry. Yeah, I thought about using, let me see here, Deranged Hermit. I thought about this briefly, but, and it's definitely a consideration. It's like on its own it's decent, but it's definitely mainly to give you a shitload of creatures to kind of combo with Craterhoof, and it's cheaper and it's an elf, so there's that. The problem is that the only problem really, well, I mean, Horned Queen, like I said, has that more control-y element, so there's that, and then there's also the fact that you can't pod Deranged Hermit into Craterhoof, so I feel like overall, Horned Queen is definitely more worth it, but it's definitely tempting to run Deranged Hermit. Yeah, so Plow Under, amazing card. It sets them back 2 turns. It screws their next 2 draws. It's absolutely devastating, and we can do it turn 3, on rare occasion turn 2. Usually if we have Mana Crypt, and a great draw, might be able to do turn 2, but it's usually turn 3, and it's just absolutely insane. Stunted Growth, kind of similar. Screws their draws, and it strips their hand instead of setting them back land-wise. So another excellent card, massively underrated. I mean, that's largely because most people don't play 1v1, I suppose, but yeah, it's an insane card. Kind of wish it was modern legal. Could be fun. Anyway, Terrastodon, absolutely bonkers. I took out Vorinclex for this, and I found that because Vorinclex doesn't excuse me, it doesn't exactly have an impact immediately. They can still use all their lands, you know what I mean, after you play it. Whereas with Terrastodon, they can't use those lands. The most devastating play you can do with this deck, I think, is turn 3 Natural Order into Terrastodon, blow their 3 lands, and most people will just concede on the spot right there. And if they don't, they'll almost definitely lose. So that's fantastic. I added in Kozilek, mainly because I had a free slot. I don't think there's anything really else to add to this deck, and I did kind of feel like another finisher could be useful, and, you know, another Eldrazi, why not? Not 100% on him, but he's, you know, I played him a couple times in testing recently and liked him, so pretty happy. So that's the deck. It's just, I should have said this at the start, but I quite seriously have, I would estimate a 90% win ratio. And I really don't think I'm biased when I'm saying that. It's, like, if I'm being conservative, I guess I would say 80 to 85, but it's pretty ridiculous. Anyway, so I wanted to give you guys an overview of the changes I've made and what the deck is. If you don't quite get it, it's a ramp deck with a control sub-theme with cards like this. A lot of destruction. Yeah, and it works extremely well. So I'm going to show it off for a game or two right now, depending on what happens, just to show you how it works. I'm not sure how much this, I'll give you a price estimation if you guys are curious. So this is the multiplayer version, which is not 100% tuned. There's still a few things I would like to work in there, but it's about, you can see it's about $600, $600 for paper, and like $150, $200 on Magic Online. And here's my 1v1 list. This is very much up to date. But same thing, $500-600 paper, $100-200 online. There's also a budget version, which I have if you guys want. It runs a Zuri, and it's about, let me see. Check this out. Oh, we're going to play elves versus elves. This is not really what I wanted. This is 75, 40. These prices aren't always necessarily accurate, but yeah, very cheap if you still want to play this deck but not spend much money. Yeah, I'll keep this. It's kind of a mediocre hand, but I found even those can work pretty well. So I think we're going to use this anytime soon, so I think we can just hold off on that for now. Yeah, well, either way, I guess we'll play it. Get some board presence, and then if we drop Priest or Archroot or whatever, it'll make it much better. But yeah, we're trying basically to get to Oracle mana right now. This little dude is amazing, by the way. Protects your fatties or your key ramp creatures. I've gotten a lot of use out of them. It's kind of meta dependent too. I've in certain metas I found them quite poor for, you know, if you're playing against a lot of people that don't run spot removal, little or none. Oh, this should be, he's playing Sylvan Bounty, this should be a wash. So yeah, we can safely run. Drop the grease. Okay. So it's tempting to drop Seeker Arbor Elf. Actually does seem like the safer play, so I think I'll do that. Or we can do Arbor. Actually, yeah, that's the better play. chipping away with damage like this is rarely relevant, but you kind of have to do it, I guess. We usually kill all at once. This is very much a ramp deck. Most people play elves. When they play elves, they think of elves as aggro, but in Commander I've found that they're much better as a ramp deck. In the ramp archetype, I should say. So, yeah, he has a fight thingy, but that's not really relevant. Could get rid of this, I suppose, but... So it's definitely not the best art, but it's not terrible either. So he's gonna start blowing up my stuff, I suppose. Which I don't really want him to do. I'm actually gonna... I don't want to sack my land. I don't think it matters. I want to keep this Oracle alive is the goal. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm fine with him blowing up the Safekeeper, because hopefully I'm gonna go off too quick. I'm gonna have too many things for this tracker to do much damage, and you know, if he does take out something, try to take out something permanent, I'll just pertinent, sorry. Ooh, that's kind of juicy. Then I'll just give it Shroud. Elixir, yeah, this deck is... I mean, I don't even think my deck is insanely good. I think it's very strong, but I don't think it's... I think there's plenty of decks out there that can hang with this if people run the right cards. But I found that a lot of decks online are like this, which is to say they run, you know, some pretty questionable cards. So I think it's tempting to get rid of that, but he's also not really doing much here, and I want to ultimate this as soon as possible, because right now I don't have a finisher. So this is where Freyalise comes in handy. Could be useful too. Could use this as a tutor in a way if we put something Bane of Progress. Not really what we want, but it'll do. Oh yeah, we can just blow this up too. Don't really need to right now though. If he starts attacking, he didn't attack last turn, so. If he attacks, then we'll use it. If not, then we'll get an extra draw. Yeah, that's fine. No, I don't have anything that lets me shuffle, so just have to make do with that. Not a big deal. So now we're getting going. This is much more what the deck is supposed to look like. More often, I suppose, I think the average win turn is, well, maybe it could be 6, but I feel like it's 5. A lot of times I win turn 5, much less often turn 4. I don't know if I've ever won turn 3, maybe. I think I may have. It's doubtful. But yeah. Turn 5 is probably the average, maybe 6. Genesis wave. Yeah, that's gonna do it. So you can kind of see how Freyalise works in getting us toward our win con. Oh look, we gotta we just have way too much mana. Let's just go for the biggest Genesis wave of all time, shall we? This is just excessive, but he's likely to just concede, but I'm just gonna play the one drops since they're free right now. This is, I believe, the biggest Genesis wave I've ever pulled off. So yeah, a lot of people get mad at this point and just quit, which is understandable. But I'm personally, I like to see people do big crazy things. It's part of the fun of Commander, so personally, I would be sitting here watching this too. Yeah. So then we'll equip the Ulamog. With the Lightning Greaves. I'll possibly... Oh yeah, we can just... Where's the Garrick? Did I not select him? Garrick color? I think I messed up. I don't get... I really don't get... Genesis Wave sometimes. I really thought I selected the Garrick and stuff, but not like it matters. So, yeah, equip the Archdruid. There we go. So we could probably do worse even, but I think that'll do for now. Oh, I want to see how big the Ulamog got. Let's see. 3, 6, 9, 10. So roughly 30-30 Ulamog. 30-35, whatever. So that's one match. I'll do one, maybe two more. He wasn't doing a lot, and his deck was... I mean, I like the cards, it's just not... Most of the cards, that Elixir is absolute trash, you shouldn't be running that, but this is a garbage hand. It would be great if you had, you know, ramp to go with it, but... Winter Orb, by the way, one of the best cards in the deck by far. Maybe even the best. So we will null. This is also pretty mediocre, but I don't know. Maybe it goes somewhere. This should potentially mull, but I'm gonna keep... I'll keep that on top. That'll do. So this will be another kind of slow hand. And he's playing black-blue, which could be bad. If he's counter spells on Wrath and whatnot. So play the Dried Arbor just in case. Counter spells wouldn't matter too much actually, because we have the Cavernous Souls. Sure. So you like, this is why I run as many mana dorks as I do. Because if you don't see them in your opener, it's you're much lower. And there's ways to, you know, to turn all those useless dorks into things, like with Freyalise's ultimate, or you know, Greater Oath can take advantage of all those otherwise useless dorks. Skull Clamp, Birthing Pod. Trying to think. There's other things. Survival of the Fittest is a good one. You can pitch it to, well, you can also pitch it to, might have played against this guy before, I'm not sure. Pitch it to Fauna Shaman. Oh, here we go. 3. So you definitely want sinks like that. I don't think there's a land that, if there was a land that let me make use of useless creatures, that'd be great. Just trying to think. I did test Evolutionary Leap in there for a while, but I wasn't really satisfied with it. It's not bad, but this and Heart Warden can sacrifice themselves, which makes it really very relevant with Pattern of Rebirth. So you can turn a crappy dork into an Ulamog. Fogbank. Okay. 5. So I'll play Freyalise here. I always try to get her out as soon as possible. It's always a good idea. The other reason I run her is not just for the acceleration into the ultimate. It's, well, of course the -2 can be extremely relevant. It's a great control card in that way. But it's great against Wrath. Because the Wrath, you'll have nothing on board, and then, you know, you drop 1 or 2 things from your hand, and +1 Freyalise, and there you go. You know, you have a reasonably sized board after just 1 turn. So, very powerful. And then, you know, you can make up for all your lost cards even more when you ultimate. It's the weirdest art. This dinosaurs dancing, that's what it looks like. They're at the club. Let me see. Fog Bank. Look at that. Don't they look like they're at the club? The club. Alright. This guy's got nothing. 3, 6. So, yeah, we got nothing this turn. But I shouldn't have played a land. I might draw a Cradle. See? And I drew a Cradle. And I could have 4 mana right now, and I could crop rotation into Nykthos and play Fierce Empath. It's not a huge deal, but whatever. Oh, actually, Nykthos doesn't do shit right now. So, there we go. But, oh yeah, and we can still Fierce, so whatever. I'm pretty sure we got enough. 4, 8, not download. So I think we just Fierce Empath into Ulamog, and then I can name Eldrazi with Cavern. We could just Crater Hoof, actually. Yeah, Crater Hoof seems better. Sure. So he knows it's coming, but whatever. he might play around it with a counterspell too, and then, you know, learns that we have Cavern. Although, yeah, no, we can't play Cavern and Cradle, which is annoying. Anyway, we're gonna ultimate Freyalise, so we don't really care what happens. That's a good card. I really wish they would let planeswalkers be, all planeswalkers be illegal, and just, you know, ban any of the trouble ones. I don't agree with the reasoning behind, well, I kind of see what they're saying. The commander committee, or whatever you call them, the rules committee, they said they want the C14 commanders, or whatever, to be special. I sort of get it, but I don't know. There's so many, it would add like such a cool element. I think we can safely do that. Just get the extra damage in, because I'm not, with just these, I'm not 100% sure we can kill them. Pretty sure, but yeah, what am I talking about? 3, 6. The elder plus 6, so. No, that would be 36, yeah, plus all the rest, so yeah, we're good. And in case not, we can ultimate next turn. And do more crazy things. Yep, so there we go. So, not a huge challenge. That's probably half the decks on Magic Online are like that, but I would like to try and find something more competitive if possible, so I'll do one more, and if not, then whatever. They were relatively quick, so. Yeah, you can see what the deck does. You have a fair idea. I didn't really have like a control game. I have some games where I play like pretty much a full-on control deck. So didn't get to have one of those yet. Didn't really get to see much of the control elements. I don't even think I destroyed one thing. So maybe we'll find it this turn. So this is okay. I might have played against this guy before. I definitely played against this commander before. It's quite a favorable matchup for me, I believe. Something I've been thinking about running in Modern. I was just playing tonight actually at the shop with elves. I'm finding that there's quite a lot of situations where I would love to chord for 0. Just get that extra mana, but I don't know. Is it worth it? Tough to say. Probably not. Ugh, so ugly. I gotta get that Bloom Tender. I might have enough. I have like 2 tickets left. I might have enough to pick it up. It's like $3 on Magic Online, which is obscene because it's played in like nothing. And it's like $15 on paper, even more. Silly. I used to have one. Would never have thought that I'd need it. Then I wasn't playing Commander then, so. Four. Bottom. And we're gonna find Hornell's cool. I guess you could make a case for the Triangle Thicket, but I don't think so. 3. I know it'll be easy enough. I'm gonna play Freyalise next turn, and then it should be easy enough to ramp into Hornet Queen. Flyers are a bit of a pain for Freyalise, but you know, Oh, she's pro blue too. I guess I should do that then. I don't know. I'll do it next turn. 3. Swing at Freyalise for 4. I just like getting it out of the way, you know? Actually, she could potentially swing for 5. Shit, yeah, I should have not done that. He could drop a land and then pump twice if he has another white source. Yeah, there it is, jeez. Uh-oh. No, he's gonna play something else. Okay. Yeah, I'd much rather you do that. That's fine. If I was him, I would probably do that anyway, yeah. Because I have so much mana besides Freyalise, but... Anyway... Four, 5, 6, 7. So I like just going Hornet Queen here, I think. Yeah, because we don't have anything to blow the mana on next turn, so... She makes me really happy, Hornet Queen. It seems even better in multiplayer. So... Yeah, wow, what a devastating card. I think, unless you're playing like a landfall deck, I guess, I feel like Hornet Queen might be the better choice. Or I guess if you have like a shitload of ramp, but we're not, you know, you're playing a lot of like, that Kodoma's Reach and whatnot. I hate asceticism. It's a bad card, by the way. It's a trap card. I'll explain why in a minute if you're curious. So don't have a way to sacrifice, which is annoying. Possibly he has a Cyclonic Rift or something. 3, 6, 7. So I am tempted to... But if he bounces, then it doesn't really matter, right? I have a lot of tokens. So I think that I'll just play Channeler. Sure. Oh right, so asceticism, I found that, sure, I have a certain perspective because I play elves, but I found that you don't want to hold up mana. It's a reactive card is the problem, and in decks that want it, they don't want to be reactive, you know what I mean? Like, you want to play a lot of creatures. I guess if you're playing like a mid-rangey thing, it's kind of good, but I don't know. I mean, there aren't really mid-range decks in Commander. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Anyway, I found that usually you don't want to hold up mana. You'd rather just play something else than regenerate. And the 2 is expensive. I mean, if you want to regenerate multiple creatures, that's taking up a lot of mana. Hexproof. There's not a lot of spot removal on Commander, you know? There's some, but... And the thing costs 5. It's like I would rather play Harmonize or Plow Under or... I don't know, all kinds of things. Trample, that's a problem. At least I have my Death Touch guys. So it's going to be like an 8-8, and then it's going to try to kill my... But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pattern. On my insect, and then kill it, and then if he dares to attack with this thing, I'll get a new Mog. That's hilarious. And his thing will die, so... It's at the beginning of combat, isn't it? Oh, whenever it attacks on each creature. Huh. So he could pump this 3 times? 3. So he can make that a 12-12, but, you know, I can kill it, so I don't give a shit. And it has Pro Blue, so... Good call, sir. If I could draw a high market, that would be cool. Sack that for a Greater Hoof and swing away. Anyway, yeah, so you'd rather play something proactive like Harmonize or, I don't know, what else costs like 4 or 5? That's proactive. Exile. Oh, okay. Pattern. I'm surprised he didn't swing with the... Oh, I got the Death Touch guys, so I guess I didn't need the pattern. Should have just waited. But, I don't know. Stunted growth. Beautiful. I like it. So, we're not going to need it, though, I don't think. We're going to draw a bajillion cards right now. Bajillion. Do-do-do-do-do. This deck. Beautiful. Fortunately no Cradle, but we do have... Oh, he's saying good game. Yeah, so we got the Greater Hoof. Good game. We got the Greater Hoof, we got a Garrick, Terastodon. We got a Harmonize, and, you know, so we can draw more things, and we can, not really much we'd want to blow up with the Terastodon, but, yeah, I would play, if I could afford it. We don't have, like, a Korean Ranger, do we? Or, oh, we do have Script Ranger, so we can tap for a lot. So I would probably go Garrick, Harmonize, and then see what we have in hand, and then drop all the cheap stuff, and then play Greater Hoof, swing for a lot. Yep. So that's that. That was a pretty good game. That was more fair. It was more interaction. He had, well, he really just had this for a threat, I suppose, but it was a bit more of a balanced game. Anyway, so that's kind of what the deck does. I hope you enjoyed. I may have more videos on this soon, but I don't know. That's kind of all there is to it. So I may not do future videos on this deck unless you guys really want me to. All right. Thanks.